Hello, everyone. I am Tracy DeMario, and I'm the Superstar Director for the Scented Bliss family. And I am super excited that those of you guys are either attending live or watching this recording have made a decision to commit to your business. So, what we're going to be talking about today is going to be the necessary things and tools needed to work your business and grow your business. Some of you may know I joined Scentsy in 2008, and back in that day, people did not have any idea what Scentsy was. In fact, it was somewhat comical, the idea of a light bulb instead of a traditional candle. We didn't have social media. I barely knew how to check email. And so it's interesting when I was reading through this training, one of my friends and fellow Superstar directors, Carla Hunter, she kind of updated a lot of information that some of us were going off of. And I was reading through it and I was like, wow, this is so fantastic. Because I'm commonly asked, how did you promote to director in 5 months? How did you promote to superstar director in 2 years without all of the things that we have now? And to be completely truthful, I hit the pavement. I mean, I literally did. I did what many of us no longer like to do, and that is I had real conversations with people. And so when I was looking through the stuff that she had put together, that's more 2023-ish, I realized in reality, yes, we do have more opportunities through social media and the current technology pieces. But at the same time, as I'm going through this, I think you're going to see that whether you decide to do it old school like I did or new school with some of these things, there are more opportunities than ever for you guys to be successful and to find your way. You know, if leaving the house is hard for you, guess what? You can do all of this stuff simply from the living room of your house. If you prefer to be out and about and you're not into the screen time and you don't like to use social media, good news. All of this, you can do that way too. So there's a way for everyone to be successful. The reality is you have to make the commitment. And that is what I'm going to be asking from each of you guys. If you choose to do a little of this and a little of that, you will be successful, but it's probably going to be very sporadic, inconsistent, frustrating. You're going to be asking yourself, why am I still doing this? You know, I should just give up. Like all these little things are going to start coming in your head. If you will commit to consistently doing what I'm going to go through here in a minute, what I think you're going to find is you're going to see successes and you're going to be building a really strong foundation that's going to result in a long lasting business. So that is the key to all of this. So the first thing I'm going to say right out of the gate is I want you guys to look at the date that you're participating in this training, and I want you to commit to 90 days. The next 90 days, I am going to give this 110%. So if you're already thinking to myself, nope, I'm out, then so be it. I love you all the same, but here's the reality. You can't want to promote quickly. You can't want to see success in this business and not commit 100%. You've got to be all in. You really do. Otherwise, again, it's going to be that same process some of you may have been experiencing. And the reality is, what I'm talking about right now, you could be a brand new consultant and this is going to work for you. You could be someone who just promoted to certified consultant and this is going to work for you. You could be a star consultant that's been stuck for 3 years at star consultant, and this is going to work for you if you work it and you make the commitment. So 90 days from today, I want you guys to be all in. Okay, not only 90 days, but you're going to have to find 30 minutes. We need 30 minutes a day. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm totally great with, and I understand if you want to take Sundays off or if there's another day of the week that you want to take off, you get my permission. Okay. But the reality is, if you're like, no, I want Saturday and Sundays off, then you need to find 30 minutes a day plus 30. So maybe on Wednesday nights, you actually work an hour. You see what I'm saying? So you still got to find the time, with the exception, if you want to take one day for family time or for you time, I think that's outstanding. So make that happen. Totally fine. All right. There are 3 things that we know to be true, and that is we have to develop trust with those around us. And by doing so, by showing up and being consistent, we are showing them that we are the real deal when it comes to being a Scentsy consultant. Some of you guys know these people. Maybe you are one of these people that have joined and sold everything you could ever imagine. Well, what that says to a lot of people is, number one, she can't make up her mind what she wants to do. Number two, she's not successful at any of this stuff. So why would I want to? Why would I want to be? And she's so all over the place. I don't even know if I want to order with her. I certainly don't want to be on her team because she's all over the place. So you've got to understand you have to develop that trust whenever you are creating a business with both your customers and your team members for that matter. Okay. You do have to be all in if you're serious about building this business and being a business builder. One of the first of 3 components, and that is going to be sponsoring. And I know for some of you guys, it's like, oh, I don't want to hear it. But here's the reality, guys. There's no way I can make what I make and support my family if I was dependent on what I could personally sell. It just wouldn't happen because life happens to me just like it happens to all of you guys. You know, my children get sick, my family has needs and things. And so there's some months when I can't sell 2,000 plus PRV or whatever my magic number is for that month. But because I have a team that's out there selling, I know that I'm going to have residual income. And that is how you build that strong, conditional, unconditional business that you can be dependent on so that you can have the lifestyle many of you guys are really hoping to achieve with Scentsy. But again, it's going to come with that dedication. 90 days, 30 minutes a day is what I'm asking for. All right. So hopefully you guys are all still with me. Nobody has got off. That's great. So let's move on. So let's talk about sponsoring. I'm going to just talk about some basics. I'm going to be sharing a document when we get done here. I will be uploading this document into the Scented Bliss group file section. And I'm going to ask that each of you print it out because I'm not going to go through all of the things on this call. I know you guys are capable of reading. I know that you guys will understand a lot of it, but I do want to highlight some of the priorities. So number 1, you have to be willing to ask. You're not going to promote if you're not asking. And so that is where I want you guys to get uncomfortable. If it's uncomfortable, so be it. You're going to have to get uncomfortable to really go next level in this business. So you have to be willing to ask. Every single customer you have, every customer that's placing an order, you should have or should be asking, have you ever thought about joining Scentsy and selling it yourself? This is every day. Every day you need to find a way to be having these conversations every single day. Every customer. Okay. You can also say something like, before I place this order, are you interested in joining? Because if you are, you can place this order under yourself and I'll show you how so that you can earn money on this very order. You should be asking every single let them tell you no. It's okay if they say no, because eventually someone is going to say yes. Do not be afraid of losing your customers. You do not want to be afraid of losing your customers because remember, you're going to constantly be growing your customer base. Maybe some of you are thinking, oh, well, that sounds good, but I've had the same 7 customers now for 7 months. Well, that's going to change. That's going to change. It's going to be different. Do not be afraid of losing a customer to your team. You will do far better for your business if those customers become your team members. You have to trust the system that many of us have found to be successful by doing these very things. Okay, so that's a must. Okay, to a monthly customer. So some of you guys probably have customers that order pretty frequently. I know I have customers that order every 4 to 6 weeks. So those customers that are ordering every 4 to 6 weeks, I want to be having that I have this conversation all the time. You should totally be selling Scentsy. You buy enough. Would you be interested? You know, and I will say that to them. And then again in 6 months, and then again, probably in 8 months later, I'll say, okay, girl, here you are again. You know, I love you and I love taking your money and being your Scentsy lady, but you should totally be selling this and making the money yourself. And I bet you have 4 to 6 friends that you know are buying Scentsy from somebody anyways. They just as soon buy it from you. So again, asking and having that conversation and letting them tell you no, letting them tell you the reasons for not. And that is something, as you have more conversations, you're going to get better and better at overcoming those type of things. And we actually have done some trainings on overcoming objections. So if that's an area you feel like you struggle in or you're afraid of, or you have that fear, we can direct you to some of those as well to kind of help you be ready to help overcome. Because the reality is there are other people out there who are buying Scentsy from you that have tried other things and they have failed. And honestly, a lot of times I think it's just because of the company that they chose to sell. I mean, let's be honest, everyone loves fragrance. Men, women, young, old. There's no one that doesn't buy fragrance. People like things to smell good, whether it's their houses, their cars, their businesses. and the majority of our products are consumable. So if they were part of a business, for example, that was selling things that might have been the best products in the world, but they're not consumable, once the cabinet is full, people don't want them anymore. The other thing is sometimes they were a part of a business that was very specific to maybe like females. Well, you know what? That's really limiting your clientele and the people that are going to purchase from you. And that could very well be why they weren't successful. Now, they're not necessarily thinking those things. They're just automatically thinking, well, I failed at this. I failed at that. I failed at this. How would Scentsy be different? So you have to be ready to build that belief and help them understand how and why Scentsy and fragrance really is different, because we all know it to be true that it is. Okay. More ideas for every customer order. So this is another one. Every time a customer brings you an order, you want to be saying something like, have you ever considered selling Scentsy? Even if just for yourself and your friends and your family. Have that conversation. Make sure that you have that conversation. Now, I actually, because I do a lot of events and I've been doing this for now almost 15 years, I do have a large customer base. And while I would like to pretend that I know every single customer and I remember all the things, I do not. So I have a spreadsheet. It's super simple spreadsheet, but I have a spreadsheet where I actually have a column on the spreadsheet that says ask to join. And so whenever I do ask someone about the opportunity, I will document it. I'll put September 2023, because for real, the following week I could forget. And I don't want to ask them like the next week. So I actually do document with my customers on my spreadsheet when I offer them the opportunity. And I will still revisit it. I just don't want to revisit it every single week for the next 6 weeks, obviously, if they have a reason to interact with me. Or if I have a host kit available and I'm looking for people to message out, I'll go back to somebody. Like I did a whole bunch yesterday. I sent a bunch of follow-up and I went back to people that I'd asked in February. So it's been a while since I asked them. And so I went back and I offered them the opportunity with a host kit that I had available from February, just to kind of give you guys an idea of how I track and how I keep track. Some of you may have no reason to do that. I have to do that. So I have to document that. Okay. So the join conversations. Again, this is another thing too, which I do this frequently. Whether they purchase from me or not, I might just be having some really good interaction with somebody at an event. Maybe it could even be at a hair salon. It could be at a nail salon. It could be out and about anywhere. And I will say something like, listen, you'd be awesome at selling Scentsy. Have you ever thought about joining? Again, maybe they've never even bought it from me. It doesn't matter, but I can tell from their personality. And I'll tell you, a lot of people that are good at this are going to be servers at restaurants. If you have an outstanding server at a restaurant, they've got great people skills. You don't think they would be a great Scentsy consultant? They're obviously very natural at having the conversations. If they're doing a good job and they impress you, then why wouldn't they be great at selling Scentsy? Same is true with a lot of times I find in the medical community. And some of the nurses their people skills, some of the people that, are the intake people, their skills are just amazing and awesome. So you never know when you're just out and about having those interactions with people. Have the conversation, ask them, what's the worst they're going to say? No, thank you. Oh, well, it's okay. So what if they do? Okay. So I want you to be promoting the join opportunity at a minimum twice a week out on social or through one-on-one messaging. Okay. So whenever you have a party available and you have a host kit available, then I want you to be offering that. Right now, this is the month of September. There happens to be a join promotion. So you don't even have to talk about the host kit. If you don't have a host kit available, oh, well, so what? We have a join opportunity that you can promote. If there wasn't a join opportunity and you don't have a host kit, then offer the full kit. There's always a reason and a time and a place to have the conversation. But I want you to be posting and sharing that at least 2 times a week. So that is part of your commitment. Okay. Another thing that I do, if you look at on Facebook, you'll see that I have in my bio on my socials, it has my website, as well as I have the join opportunity in the bio on my Facebook page. If you've not done that, do that. Okay, there's lots of little things, and you never know where people are paying attention and what people are looking at. And you want to make sure if they have any interest whatsoever in some kind of a side hustle or another business, and they might think about Scentsy, that they pick you. So there's things that you have to do to make yourself available, and so that others know that you're the real deal. You are the Scentsy lady or the Scentsy mister, and they want to be on your team. Okay, so you have to show up and you have to make that presence out there. I'm going to skip the rest of this because you guys will have the ability to, like I said, read this full document. I do want to highlight one other thing. People again will ask me, so tell me all the things. What did you do? How did you do it? And I was very, very fortunate that my sponsor had been in, well, she had sold all the things prior to Scentsy. And so she had a lot of knowledge of direct marketing trainers and presenters, one of which is my all-time favorite, Mary Christensen. Some of you guys have had the opportunity to hear her. She is phenomenal. I can listen to her all the time. I've read her books multiple times. I still like hard copy books, but they are available on Kindle versions as well, or on, other platforms, I should say. But I love to highlight my books, and I like to put stickies in my books, and I refer back to my books. But Mary Christensen has a whole line of direct selling books. And one of her books was How to Be a Party Plan Superstar. That was the first book I ever read around direct sales. But the one I want you guys, I really want to challenge all of you guys to get and to read is her book, Recruiting Like a Rock Star. So it's by Mary Christensen. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it anywhere. It's not expensive. And like I said, you can get an electronic version if you prefer that. And after you've read it, I want you to post in our group that you read it or that you got your book, and share some of the things that you're utilizing or some of your aha moments from her book. She speaks in a way that's very easy to understand for those of us that have never sold anything in our life. And I found it to be extremely helpful. Like I said, I still refer back to hers all the time. So now we're going to move on to the second part. Now, this is where I have this conversation with a lot of team members, and we're going to talk about networking. I'll have people say, well, I don't have any customers, or I can't find customers, or my family doesn't support me, or this, that. Guess what? You have to get over all of that. You have to stop with all of that. We are here to network, and we all are going to have to grow our customer base. Because even if we had the best friends and the best family, if we were dependent on that to grow a successful business, we're already setting ourselves up for failure, because that's the reality is that's not going to do it for us. We're going to have to grow and expand beyond that. I've had this conversation with some of you. Many of you are like going to roll your eyes, but it is a real legit thing, and it works. It 100% works. Those of us that have been very successful in this business, keep one. We refer to it. I now have moved mine on to an Excel spreadsheet, but back in the day, I had a notebook, a spiral notebook. I had it for many, many years that went everywhere with me. So you choose your way. Just make sure you do it. And that is making your list of 100. In the consultant guide, which we all have access to at least digitally, if you don't have a current version, there is a list of 100 hard copy. You can actually print that out as well, and you can just fill it out. If you have 7 people, great. If you have 27 people, great. If you have 170 people, great. The reality is you're going to be expanding and growing that list, but start with the list. And just to kind of help you guys, I don't want to do a full training on the 100 list, but if you are like stuck and you're not really sure how to build your 100 list, we have a lot of really great resources that can help you expand that list. Regardless of what your current number is, I assure you, I can have you almost double it. If you need some training on that, you just need to reach out so we can help you with that. I want you to comment under 5 people, friends and customers on social media's posts daily. So as you're scrolling through socials, which we all find time to do, I want you to at least comment, non-Scentsy, just randomly comment on a minimum of 5 people's posts. Oh my gosh, I love that picture. Wow. Cabo looked fantastic. I'm so glad you're having a good time. Happy birthday. I hope it was a great one, whatever. Again, I would want you to start building those relationships so that it's not just about you selling Scentsy to them, but you actually are invested and you're creating those relationships with them. That also is going to help you, besides just liking comments. It's also going to help you as far as the social media and how you see what posts and who sees what posts of yours as well. So really important to do. I want you to ask each of your customers personally if they would like a link to the new catalog. Again, I know mail is very costly, and so I am very conservative on what I send out and how often I send stuff out. I do monthly mailings, but I'm really cautious about what I send, and I recognize that. So you need to be asking every single customer if they would like the digital option to view. And we all have access to that. I know in the group, we've actually shared the flip catalog, which a lot of people like, for both the Harvest collection, the holiday collection, and the catalog. So again, if you're needing help finding those resources, all you have to do is ask in our group, because one or multiple people are going to be more than happy to help direct you and to tag you there too. Okay. All right. So do product reviews on social media. Guys, this is huge. So many people do not know that we have more than warmers and wax. Yes, I know it's 2023 and all of you guys know that we do, but I'm here to tell you most of our customers do not. Every event that I do, I have people come up and see my laundry soap and they're like, I had no idea you guys had laundry liquid. I had no idea that you had hand soap. People have no idea. You need to be doing product reviews, whether that is on a new scent that comes in, the scent of the month, maybe it's a new warmer, maybe it's your Scentsy Fresh. How are you using Scentsy Fresh? Show them, tell them. You need to be making it a priority to be doing that. Again, interacting with your customer base is really, really important. And social has made that easier than ever. If you want to go old school, guys. Go in to your hairdresser, go into your insurance guy, wherever you're going, and go old school and show them, demonstrate, offer to loan them a little bag with, you know, a wall fan and a pod for 3 or 4 days that they can try in the bathroom of the nail salon or wherever you're going. That's even better, because now you're going to get interest from people, not only from your hairdresser or whoever, but from those other people that are experiencing it when they utilize the bathroom that you have no other way of knowing. That is how we network and how we build our customer base. It's going to take time and it's going to take effort, but it can be done. Okay, so one of the other things that we talk about is branding yourself. So I actually have a meeting today, so I'm not wearing my Scentsy attire, which is very unusual for me, but I call it my uniform. And my kids used to roll their eyes, but now that they see that it's provided us with a pretty good lifestyle, they don't roll their eyes anymore. In fact, when I'm not wearing a Scentsy shirt, they're like, why aren't you wearing a Scentsy shirt? Where are you going today? So it needs to be the norm. When you have the opportunity, brand yourself. If you work outside the home and wearing a Scentsy shirt is not appropriate, then get yourself a mug, get yourself a tote bag, get yourself something that identifies you as a Scentsy consultant that you're taking around. And then be ready when people ask, oh, do you sell Scentsy or what's Scentsy? Make sure that you're ready and that you've got your cards, or better yet, what I like to do is have product sheets. I like to fold up my product sheets and I have a felt scent sample stapled on that I can pass out to the masses when I'm out and about. Okay. And again, that's a great opportunity. And not only do you want to pass them out and just say, hey, guess what? I do customer promotions and customer specials, and I'd be happy to let you know what's happening when. If you want to give me your name and number, I'll add you to my list. And there's going to be people say, oh my gosh, I would love that. My girl quit, or I never know what's happening. I didn't even know they had a new catalog. So that's how you're going to, again, expand that customer list. So again, I'm going to move through this next portion because I'm going to let you guys look at this document that's filled with great ideas. But the last key component, which we all know is going to be necessary to stay in business, and that is going to be sales. So we do have to have sales. And for most of us, they don't just fall in our lap. Okay, people are like, oh, I'm going to get the website, and everybody's just going to go to my website and buy. Here's the reality. Most of us, that does not happen. Okay, I have to market it. I have to be disciplined. I have to be diligent. And I have to be sharing it often and frequently in order to get people to take action. That is the reality for anyone and everyone. Maybe a tiny, tiny little tiny minority, but I don't know those people. So, okay. So I want you posting one product to your social media every single day, spotlighting the product every single day. You know, take real pictures if you've got them when things come in. There's groups out there, and Lisa Sanderson is fantastic about sharing real life pictures that she takes of the products and she shares them out for all to use. You know, use those pictures, and I want you to be posting every single day. I use my personal platform. I don't have a VIP group. If you do, that's fine, but don't be dependent on it. You need to be sharing outside of that group if you want to grow and you want to expand. And I can assure you it will and does work. When you're placing an order for a customer, you need to be asking. So if a customer gives you an order, say, you know, hey, do you have 2 friends that would also like to place orders? If you want, I can wait a day or so if you want to see if anybody else in your office needs any bars or needs any light bulbs or needs anything. So asking them, and commonly, especially if they're local, you can say, you know what, that's going to cost less on shipping too, because then you can charge them each $2 a piece. If there's 3 of them, charge them each $3 each, and their shipping is covered, you know? So it's a lot less than just having one person's direct ship for $10. Okay. Schedule your posts. Remember, we can schedule posts as well. So keep in mind that is something that you can do depending on what platforms that you're using. Scheduling posts, if time is not your friend, you can certainly do that as well. And I want you following up with 5 to 10 customers every single week at a minimum, 5 to 10. If you're struggling with follow-up, if you don't have a system, if you have no idea what to do with follow-up, again, guess what? We have resources, we have trainings, we can help for that. Reach out, reach up into the group and ask, what do you guys do for follow-up? What's your favorite system? Let others share best practices and what's working and has been successful for them. You don't have to recreate this stuff. It does exist, and others are finding a lot of success by doing it. So you might as well use what they're doing. You can tweak it. You can try something new, something different until you find that system that's the best fit for you. Okay, so we're going to do our follow-up at a minimum, and we're going to make sure that we are booking at least 4 parties or 4 types of PRV producing every single month. That's a minimum. Now, I personally, if you can go for parties, I'm all in. Go for parties. Home parties are the absolute best. Book parties or bag parties are the second. And some people live for Facebook parties. Not my jam, but that's okay. I still do them. I do them when asked and when I need to. But I personally think in-home parties are number 1 and bag or book parties are number 2. From what I see results, it gives you more opportunities to have more personal interaction and opportunities in building your customer base. So those would be my priorities. Also, what we can count into that would be events. So find yourself an event to do. You could also count in their open houses. If you want to have an open house or someone you know is having an open house, ask if you can set up a table. And of course, last but certainly not least, we're going to be counting fundraisers. Those are excellent opportunities to get your name and your information out to people that you would have no way of knowing otherwise. So fundraisers can be a fantastic tool for both PRV and TWV, as well as building your customer base. So I want you to make it a priority for parties and or income producing events per month. That's a must. Okay. Now, one of the other things that I'm going to ask you guys to do is don't be afraid to be dependent on some of your good friends. You know, asking you if you know your friends work outside the home and we've got a new catalog, we've got new testers, ask them, hey, do you guys have a break room? Is this something you'd feel comfortable sharing? Could I send a warmer? Could I send a wall fan in with you? I tell people this all the time, and I'm serious. Some of you guys are like me. I've had the same insurance agent now for 10 plus years. I've had the same hairdresser since like 8th grade. I've done business with the same people for years. I'm very, very loyal. So why is it when you're in business and you have a new business that you are afraid to tell them or to ask them to support your business? Why are you hesitant? We should not be hesitant. We should be excited. And I have a feeling that they are going to be equally happy and excited that you've started a business, and they will want to support you too. So like I said, however you're comfortable, whatever you're doing, like I said, if they're local to you, they're not local to you. I mean, you could mail pouch parties out. There's different ways you can do that. I personally have found from experience, I love letting them demo the product. So actually loaning them the product, letting them utilize the product. That's what I have found. I like to do a bag party now that we've got so many newer products. In my bag party, I have a wall fan, I have a pod, I have counter cleaner, sometimes have Scentsy Fresh, it just depends, a hand lotion, and then I ask them if they have a warmer. If they already have a warmer, I will loan them like one of the new Scent of the Month bars that has like maybe 3 or 4 cubes in it. Or I will loan them a scent that is one of our new, like since we've got new fall winter stuff, I'd probably just loan them that as well. And again, I don't give them the full bar, but I just give them enough because I want them only to have it for 3, 4, maybe 5 days before I go back. Because I don't want them to have it like a long time. I want them to take it so that they think that they need it and they want to actually show action, and not only for themselves, but any customers or anybody that comes in as well. And I'll let them know, look, if you or your customers, if any of you guys want any of this, let me know, because Rhonda, I'll just put this in under you so that you can get some host rewards in the event that you collect some orders. If you don't, no problem. I would appreciate your review. Give me your opinion on stuff. If you liked it, what you liked, what you didn't like, and just ask them for their opinion in the reviews. Because again, you never know when a month later, they might be like, oh my gosh, I have a housewarming party I need to go to. I'm going to call Tracy because that warmer was so great. I think that would be perfect for a housewarming gift. Like, you just don't know. So don't be afraid to utilize those people that you've been loyal to and that you've done business with over the years. So I know this was a lot, and I appreciate your guys taking the time and investing the time to do this. And like I said, I assure you, if you are doing these actions that we just discussed, if you make it a priority, your business is going to look very, very different in the next 90 days. And I know I can't wait to see the results of your efforts. Thank you guys for showing up.